There's that. There's that. And
We're
people
on.
can hear you. You're on.
Cool.
Let me turn this music off, though. Boom. We're live. Should be happening. Everything should sound okay.
Boom, we are live. Boom.
Boom, we are so live. And Mariah's back.
Where is she? Oh, I need to not look at this.
No, yeah, don't look at that. All right. I just yelled for no reason at all. Go maximize so we can play video on the side too. All right. Hello, guys.
Hey, Nima.
Do you have mental notes, Mariah?
I do.
Cheers. What are you drinking, Stella?
Stella. And what are you
Cool.
guys drinking?
Longboard.
Longboard.
I've never heard
And
of it.
this glass
From
is
Kona.
from Hawaii. Boom. My favorite.
Oh, right. You guys went to Hawaii. You're fancy.
We are.
You're part of 1% Club.
It was nice. No.
I've actually, just recently, I've heard a few people say that they would not be able to live in Hawaii because it would be miserable. There's no change and it's all the same weather the whole time.
Yeah, that makes for a super efficient lifestyle, man.
Yeah. But at the same time, if you want to work near electronics, I've also heard that's a problem in Hawaii.
So it's humid, for sure. Apparently, the island we were on, Kauai, is the most humid place on Earth.
It's the wettest spot on Earth. Mount Waialeale.
Wow, how are they?
Yeah. What?
You can tell I've been a few times, so.
Why did you pick? What did you guys pick Hawaii? What was the reason?
I've been a few times, and every time I come back, I just tell him that it's beautiful and really magical. And finally, we were sitting there like on our laptops one day, and I'm like, I'm gonna do a thing, and I just booked it.
Aw, aren't you sweet? I would just want to make sure you're not from Hawaii.
No.
Stop playing. God. Okay, what are we talking about, guys?
Sicario.
Sicario. Okay. You know, the first couple times I watched it, I just looked at the name and I know it was confusing, so I didn't even bother pronouncing it.
Yeah. You think about name idea?
No, I think the name is fine. It's just my reading ability is not at the same level as the writers.
Hey, one of the previews for that was Heist.
One of the previews was Heist. What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Because we got a DVD from Redbox and the preview was Heist.
Oh, the movie Heist? That looks the recent one, right?
Yeah, it looks cool, man.
I think it was actually pretty bad from what I heard. I'm not
Yeah.
sure though.
So,
Okay, so as the tradition goes, we're gonna start with what do you guys think? Just really quick. Yes, no, good, bad,
Yes.
awful.
Yes. Cheers to that movie.
And Mariah?
I thought the like if you divide it into 3 acts,
Mm-hmm.
the first act was incredible. It was one of the best. I was sitting there thinking like jaw open, like this is one of the best
Yeah.
movies I've seen this year.
Yes.
The second act was weak. I feel like there was an enormous plot hole. And I'll tell you when we get there.
Yeah, I was gonna say
have
we're
it
gonna
in-
get there.
I have it in my
wanna know.
notes.
Okay.
And I think the third act redeemed it somewhat. So I think that saved it. But it was a 10 for like the first half hour. I was like, wow, this is stunning. And then I think it came out to probably an 8.5
Okay.
after everything.
Okay. I kind of want to know what plot holes you're talking about, but when you're talking about the first act and the third act, I completely agree, 100% agree. That
The
it's.
second act was weaker.
I think it was weaker just because I assume it was weaker because I definitely remember the first and third act being amazing, and I can't
Yeah.
remember. I can't say the same thing about the second act.
I think the plot hole was with Tom.
There's
Todd,
a
you
few
mean.
scenes, by the way. that
The
are just-
idea, first of all, that like her partner would introduce them when he was allegedly like a hitman or someone that was going to pump her for information, and he just
Oh
happened
yeah, that
to
whole
be
part
there.
was weird.
And then the fact that he just happened to have one of the bands on his person.
Right, the
I feel
money
like
clip thing.
If he's a police officer, I feel like he would have taken the necessary precautions. So I think that was just sloppy writing because I think that like he would not have been that dumb.
I agree, and we're gonna get there, so I want to talk about that in detail. But just remember, he was Phoenix PD, so
Hey, I have friends that are
I know,
PhD.
but I'm just saying the bar's not set really high with our PD department. Your friend might be great, your friend might be the best out there, but you know, we have Sheriff Joe and a whole bunch of other awful people.
He's gone, man.
We have
As of
Penzone
today,
now.
yes,
As of today, that was today.
yeah, today, yes, yesterday was his last day. He's officially fired and gone,
Well, he's a regular citizen now. He's not fired. He just was not reelected.
and he's
He's
still
probably
gonna
gonna be in Trump's somewhere.
yeah, and he's gonna continue wasting our tax money because the court cases are not done yet.
Just the group of old rich white men.
Okay, so we're gonna start talking about it. Actually, yeah, we're gonna start talking about it from the very beginning. So, is there a scene that you guys want to touch base on, like the opening in Chandler, Arizona?
Oh, I have my favorite first scenes so far. There's
Oh, okay.
not first scene of a movie. No, like there's one scene in that movie that I liked is you know, after her first incident, where it's pretty dramatic and she needs to breathe, and she's in front of the mirror and she's like takes this long ass breath.
Yeah.
Very believable.
Yeah.
I would do that. I'd look at myself in the mirror and smoke a cigarette and be like, actually, she wasn't smoking yet at that point.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. I don't remember.
She starts smoking in Mexico, I thought.
Yeah, when they're after Juarez.
Juarez.
I do like. I've been thinking that somebody should at some point make an Arizona-based movie, and do justice to Arizona. And I know this is a crime-based movie, and there's so much negativity. But as far as visuals of it, they got Arizona down perfectly.
The cinematography
totally.
was amazing.
Yeah.
There were
Looks
so
really
many
good.
times that it was just like the clouds or the rain or the sunlight. Like, it was just beautiful.
I kind of wonder what the logistics is to get. Like, there was a scene with the buses driving away in sunset, and it was
And
like
you see it in the window.
right, and they're like
Yeah.
perfect sun, perfect clouds. Like, is this something that they're just waiting? They're like, okay, it's cloudy
Yeah,
today. Go,
there's
go, go,
probably
go.
Someone knew that it was gonna look that cool.
I'm sure that they worked with a consultant, and him and I
Like
were actually talking about like the
someone probably
storyboarding
scoped
and
around
how,
to
like,
find the right thing.
yeah.
Completely agree. I gotta open up my notes now, so I know what I'm talking about. So here's something I actually learned just this week is they're saying when it comes to feature-length movies, you have 15 minutes. Within the first 15 minutes, audience will always sit in, no matter what the movie's about. They will give you reign. They will say, you know what? You have 15 minutes to sell me your world, right? You have 15 minutes to sell me your characters. I will believe whatever you put in front of me as long as it happens in the first 15 minutes.
Right.
And if you don't fail the first 15 minutes, then I'll be on board for the rest of the movie. But if you fail that, then the rest of the movie, like, this is ridiculous. And I can't. This is one of the best first 15 minutes I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it was
It
really
was pretty
cool.
amazing.
That was really good. It just totally grabbed our attention. Like holy shit, you feel these things. Heart's going, everything.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
What else? What else do you guys want to say about the first opening? thing?
I don't know.
I think that as like I brought it up to him, and I know it's like I'm the only girl on our little panel, but I was really, really excited to see a female protagonist that wasn't introduced as here's a woman in a man's world. It wasn't like they purposely made it like a thing that she happened to be a woman. It was accepted like she's an FBI agent, she's competent, she's a leader. Like, they didn't have to like explain her. It was just like, here's a given. And I think that that's a huge step forward in filmmaking, is that these days it's like, okay, it is a given that a woman would have such a high ranking position and have so much responsibility and be leading a task force and all that. But I also noticed, and again, I might be particularly sensitive to this, but I noticed the huge, like when she goes to that briefing and they're all sitting in that room and all the guys have known each other and all the team is like giving each other shit back and forth, and she feels so isolated and sort of like outside. I think that that's probably a really common theme for women, especially in her line of work or in any high power line of work that's tended to be like a boys' club for a long time. And I think that they portrayed that really well without it being like hitting you over the head and being annoying about it. But it was subtle enough and real enough that I could very much relate to her. Because I've been in engineering or medical meetings where it's like I'm kind of holding my own. And I think that that was portrayed perfectly in this movie, where it wasn't overdone, but it was still very there.
Right. And I think that's just when you make a decision in the writing to, like, for example, where you're talking about not spending time saying that this is a female cop and this is what she's gone through to become who she is and her weaknesses. If you start from the get-go as this is a character, here's what she is, let's not waste time with her development, and we're going to assume that she is as good as, we're going to show that she is. Then it just works so much better for the movie, because you don't spend the first 30 minutes trying to say, hey, this chick is going to be good, or she is going to be good at some point. She is. Like, she's just as fun as everybody else. Like, move on. Like,
I really liked that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think she's a good actress because she was able to like convey that she was interested in their little like the mystery of the next adventure, but knew the danger of it. Like, you had that vibe from her, and you just root for her the whole time. Can you give me my bag?
There was one note that I have when there was the Department of Justice meeting that they had, the first meeting that they were going to introduce her and, bring her on board. The freaking Matt dude, who I don't know the actor's name that plays him, he wears flip-flops. That's one of my pet peeves, is people in a professional
Josh Brolin?
environment. Yeah.
I didn't like that. Like, why did they have to show that he wear flip-flops?
I get it.
Cool.
It's to fit the character, that this guy doesn't fit the box of your intelligence people. It doesn't fit law enforcement.
Yeah, but even if you were that guy, you would not wear freaking flip-flops. to
Right.
like
To a meeting of
fancy
people
meeting
that
like
you,
that.
most of them you haven't met. This is the first time you like in
power
Arizona.
move.
Ugh,
It's
so
a power
annoying.
move. It's totally though. It's a dominance move on his part to say like it's not important enough for him. Like he's reached an echelon in his career where he doesn't have to conform to the rules.
Yeah, just like him falling asleep on the plane. He's
Yeah,
just-
everything that he does is calculated to get in someone's
Oh.
head. Like he's hired to shake things up, to like shake the trees, right? So it's part of his personality.
Speaking of the
innately that
plane-
he's like that.
The plane scene at the very beginning ish.
Yeah, with Benicio del Toro having a nightmare.
This shadow thing.
It's bad. It's badly done. I get the idea.
It's
Yeah.
so bad. I wish they'd taken that out.
I
Because
agree.
it's so early in the movie that I was like, this has like a weird science fiction vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're really trying to make this every scene look really good, especially the ones that don't have any humans in it.
Right.
And they did a great job with most of them, but that plane one was just like, no.
Yes,
You could
I'm-
see like plane goes over the mountains, it does this weird thing instead of doing the really regular thing it should be doing with a shadow.
Yeah. I'm fairly certain that was a CGI shadow because it looked
Yeah.
so out of place and it looked
No, it looked
wrong.
fake. It didn't.
Yeah.
It was not. It was the shadow of it was done wrong. I feel like.
I feel like it was done though to show that there's so much open space.
Mhm.
Like I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that this movie, both in the fact that Benicio del Toro like did not have a lot of lines and did not come out with like a bleeding
Oh.
heart and explain his backstory. Like it's showing like emptiness, and I think it's really the sign of a confident director,
Yes.
a confident filmmaking team to not feel that they have to fill every
Yeah,
second
dude.
with dialogue and explanation, and they just let it speak for itself. Like his quiet, brooding nature was so much more impactful than it would have been if he was like bombastic.
Yeah.
And so I think that consistently showing the desolation of where they were, there was no one around them, there's nothing around them, it helped the viewer feel like isolated, like we're out here in the desert. Like how like catching these guys is like trying to catch water with a strainer. Like it's a foregone kind of mission.
I completely agree. And for me,
Yeah.
like when you guys talk about the aerial shots, like that whole sequence has a whole bunch of them. Like from that plane shot all the way up until when they leave Mexico, there's a whole bunch of aerial shots that are just that linger a lot longer than any director would. Like the shots would just go and there's nothing on the screen. And this is the first time I've noticed that has to be on purpose because it makes you feel just like what's her name? Kate feels like you're constantly shifting around the screen looking for something that you're supposed to see, and even though there's nothing there, it's just a landscape shot.
Yeah,
and
but
you
you
feel
just drift
nervous.
off. You drift off.
It's
in,
like whack-a-mole.
Your thoughts.
It's so good. It's perfect. This guy's movies, which I don't know if you guys have seen his other. He made Prisoners.
Prisoners was so good.
and Enemy as well. They're both really good.
Prisoners I felt like really played with the same themes of when you break the rules for your own ends. Like, is it a good thing to break the rules, or is it a good thing to rely on order? Because you saw Prisoners, right?
Oh yeah, I love.
So it's
Prisoners.
like, I loved it. I watched it twice. It gave me the chills. But like, they cross the line in so many ways, and they break the rules, and it does not lead them to their desired end. Like it's
Right.
a cop who's doing the right thing, who follows the rules, that eventually comes out getting the girl or getting the kids back. So I think that this movie was the same thing. Like, how far do you go off the map in order to achieve your objective? An important question.
I agree, and I feel like this movie and that were the exact opposites. Like he was trying to show both sides of it. Where in one movie you agree with everybody breaking the rules, you're like, I would probably do the same thing. And in this movie, you're like, yeah, I kind of get what Kate's saying is that we need to stop breaking the rules and start following procedures, otherwise it's gonna go to shit. God, what was I gonna say? What's her partner's name? Reggie.
I don't remember.
He's a badass. I like him. He's
He
such
was
a
really cool.
great character to have. Somebody that obviously you find out later on this show that he's really well accomplished and that has gone through the steps that he needs to get to the place that he is. But he's just like a really confident dude that no matter what will have Kate's back, even though if Kate doesn't want him to have her back.
She just want to rock the boat and everything, and he's like, "No, I'm gonna stand up when I see something. I'm gonna say something."
He's an awesome side character to have. Like
I think it was cool when he was like, "You got to tell us what it is that we're doing."
yes, that scene. That's the exact
And
scene
then
I'm talking
after he
about.
gets the truth, he's like, "All right, we're good. Let's
Yeah.
do this shit."
Like, it's nice to have side characters that are equally as strong, if not stronger, than your main characters in different ways. Because a lot of movies that have the main character and nobody can ever touch the main character in any way, in smarts, in humor, in anything. But this movie, everybody's equally as smart. It's
They're
amazing.
complementary to each other, for sure.
What's next, Remy? What do you want to? What's on your notes?
So you know the helicopters. I don't have notes. This is not a pen. You know the helicopter scene?
Which one?
The
one where they're about to go into Mexico? That one?
Yeah.
Okay,
that
yeah,
one. The long where with all the 4 black SUVs just going like through
Yeah.
perfectly awesome looking.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, okay, this was shot here at the border. Like, it doesn't look like they stopped the traffic for any of it.
Yeah, it's CGI.
Oh, really?
The trucks are not real.
Nice. So it's just a helicopter shot at the right time with no
Yeah.
real cars in the way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And just remember with the CGI.
I thought it was easier than that. I thought it was literally like, oh, okay, get 4 SUVs and drive them really close by together, and I'll go around the helicopter. Because I was thinking, you're telling me, people who do the helicopter shoots.
Mm-hmm.
You probably hire one of these people to follow a few cars around while they're driving through traffic, and hopefully get some cool shots with it. I think what they did. But it's CGI, really?
Yeah, all the helicopter shots of the trucks are CGI.
Damn, they look so good.
Yeah. It's great how they look really good and the shadow from that plane looks really bad.
I know. What?
It's been bothersome to me for a long time.
Seriously. So is it hard to make a scene like that then? No, you just have to rent a helicopter and like a camera guy and then go shoot this and that.
In Arizona, there's a bunch of them. And not only that, we have actual news helicopters that will rent out their space. And there's one big company that's all they do is helicopter shots.
But that means, if a director wants to have a particular shot of something, can you just tell him what to shoot, or does he go up there in the helicopter?
No, they usually tell him what to shoot. The cinematographer might be in the helicopter, but the thing with like helicopter shots and drone shots, the way you operate the camera and what you want is completely different than the way you would operate a camera like on Earth when it's on a tripod or on a dolly. So usually the helicopter crew has their own camera people that need to be told what they do, and they will just handle it themselves. Yeah,
but again, you're talking about like camera angles and frame and stuff like that, so it's gonna get its own little like look to them because it's not. So the director is pretty much hoping for the best with that.
Yeah, and then depends on how much control they have. Like how in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, all the helicopter shots were kind of similar, but in this one, the helicopter shots look different. He didn't do as much spinning shots; there were more lateral shots. So it's every person does their own different things.
I hope the big birds in Lord of the Rings were real and not CGI. They were cool.
The eagles.
The big eagles. I love these things. I was like, yes.
Oh, the plane. You know how Benicio del Toro has like PTSD and he just wakes up from a nightmare, like in a really bad way.
I guess so.
Right. This is the first time I've noticed that the sound that you're hearing all the way up until the point that he wakes up from his nightmare, you think you're hearing jet engines, but it's the sound of kids and women screaming.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and I noticed the second he wakes up, that sound cuts off, and you just hear the regular plane. You're like, oh, that was brilliant. It's done.
Damn, how did you hear that?
Well, I mean, this is like the 4th time I've seen the movie, so you start looking for different things.
Is that town they're going to? How do you say it, Mariah?
Juarez.
Say it again.
Juarez.
Say it with the actual like.
Juarez.
Juarez, right?
Juarez.
That's how they say it.
Sure.
Is it that bad in real? Like bodies under the bridge hanging?
It was pretty bad like 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know how bad it is now, but yeah, man, people were.
So it's like notorious for being like a shit show of a murder town.
And journalists disappear.
Oh, that's right.
Journalists are found, shot, dismembered, etc. It's pretty bad.
One of my favorite part of the movie, favorite scenes, is when they're driving through Juarez.
Yeah.
Juarez.
When they're driving, like that.
Do we
whole
have any
scene
Mexican friends? Gosh, I need to figure this out.
We do.
Yeah, we do. I'll figure this out next time.
Okay.
If I could, like, we have
you
to
know
make
when
this
they're
super
in the how do you call the town? Like the really bad part of town.
like the slum area.
The slum area. It's not necessarily bad, but they're
Like a shanty
driving,
town.
and that's before they hit the freeway with the traffic, where they see the guys in the cars with the guns. That whole scene, that whole like driving scene up to the end of that whole sequence.
Bless you.
Awesome.
You were on the edge of your seat the whole time, right?
It's brilliant. We watched
Perfect.
it twice.
But the part when it starts for me is when, as they're driving, she sees this car driving as fast as they are, parallel to them, a block away.
Yeah.
And that was so cool. And then she doesn't see it, and she's like, huh? Where'd it go? That was cool.
Like that whole scene carries for so long, by the way, when you look at the actual
Yeah.
timeline of it, and the actual action of it lasts less than a minute. Like when they're firing shots, that's like less than a minute, but the whole sequence is like 15 minutes or something. So the whole time you're just nervous. You know something's gonna happen.
They built the tension really well. That was masterfully done. I was super impressed with that. The only things that I can think of that came even anywhere close was the scene in True Detective season 1 where they're going through the houses with the long shot.
Yeah.
That was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It was probably the first one that comes to mind that's got like they just built it so well and you follow what's going on, and I liked it.
That you speak about True Detective. One of my notes is actually like this whole movie had like such a True Detective vibe for me.
Like the grittiness of it.
Yeah.
Or what?
Like I was thinking about it throughout the movie. I was like, dang, this is really like because it's the not much talking.
Yeah.
Like they're telling the story via like cinematography.
Speaking of not talking and not telling you what's happening, can we talk about the interrogation scene?
Oh yeah, that's actually a question. That's the only note I have for the interrogation scene is, what do you think he was doing?
So I think, and this is like my personal opinion, I don't think he was waterboarding him.
No, he wasn't.
Because he brought it in, and I feel like this is a statement, like a tongue-in-cheek side statement, that everyone saw him walk in with a 5-gallon jug, and everyone turned a blind eye, which means that they're looking at waterboarding as an acceptable method of interrogation, even though
Right.
it's illegal. And they purposely showed a dry drain and the unopened 5-gallon jug.
Right.
So I think whatever he was doing off camera was so horrible that we couldn't see it.
Right, and like it's basically like a little note saying that you think waterboarding's bad. You have no idea what else they're doing.
Yeah, I really think that was like purposely done that way, because if they wanted to show a waterboarding scene, they could have showed him popping it open and they could have tilted him back, and they didn't show any of that. I think it was definitely like a display of dominance when he like stood right over that guy and like made him look at him. But I don't think that there was any like rapey stuff going on. I think it was just like they make you feel uncomfortable because they're so close. Like, what would you do if you had someone like right up in your face? But I think it was probably like to let your imagination go to the worst possible scenario and like what could he be doing to him.
See, that's for me. That's immediately like to rapey stuff.
But here's the thing, like,
Of course it does. Of course.
like not to get too like fine of a point on it, but like I think that like if you were looking at it from an oral sex route, the guy getting interrogated totally could have bitten and that would have ended that. And he was already like tied down to the chair. So what are they going to do? They're going to untie him and like reposition it. I'm like, it doesn't make sense. Like I think it was probably some sort of like painful infliction of torture, like on his face, thumbing at his eyes, something like that. Like, but it was so bad they didn't want to show it to us. And I think that the fact that we're having this conversation means that they did a good job because our minds are like, what could he have been doing? He obviously wasn't waterboarding him.
So talking about a good job, and this scene is right before when they come back to Phoenix or Tucson. So the start of the second act, basically. So what are the flaws that you're talking about in the second act?
I think that the cop thing came together too perfectly. I think that if they would have added an extra 20 minutes to the movie and thought of something better than this like super like forced, ultra convenient like double date, you know what I mean? Like it just didn't vibe with me as genuine. And it really was disappointing because I think in a lesser movie, I would have accepted it.
Right.
But the first act had such a great caliber of storytelling and building carefully on itself that it just seemed like this whole second act was just like directed by someone else. Like
I agree.
It was to expedite the plot, and it fucking like it ruined it for me a little bit. Like it could have been so much better.
For me, I don't know if it was so much the cop itself, but obviously he was part of it. It's the fact that they kept on showing that wristband. So they showed their wristband in 3 different locations just to be like, hey, you should be paying attention to this color. It's going to come up in a little bit.
Hey,
The first
we made
thing
it
that
really
I-
colorful for you to
Right,
Well,
right.
Because they were doing such a good job in the first third, like I immediately was like, what they're gonna do is watch. Like he's got that band and she's gonna flip out and he's gonna hold her down and be like, look, it's like my sister, she had cancer. Like it's one of those wristbands that you're wearing in support. You know, like I think that would have been a great place to take it because it shows that she's like unhinged and she's like seeing it everywhere because she's starting to get paranoid. But I don't think it would have been, I mean, he was like in the bar all night. Like he had that sitting in his pocket and like wasn't afraid that anyone would see it.
It was probably the, like you said, the plot hole or whatever.
I think it was a plot hole, and I'm so sad because without it, I think that would have been a perfect movie.
Yeah, but it's like science fiction movies. I know this wasn't a science fiction movies, but time travel is always a plot hole.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you have to make a decision on storytelling tools that are gonna suck. I feel like it's really hard to do a perfect movie. This movie came really close to it.
It could have been.
I know, and
It was a great movie where he gets complaining
I
about
think you know what would have
what's
been.
wrong with you guys.
You know what would have
We're
been so
just
much
saying-
better? He has 2 cell phones, right? So they
Yeah.
could have totally got rid of the band thing, had sex, fell asleep, and his phone rang, and it was the other phone.
but
Like
that's
that
been
would have
done
been.
before.
But it would have been more genuine. It would have been more like I believed it more than like he's walking around this very identifiable marker.
Yeah, but what? Okay, what? For me, before she even saw that thing, it was like, after he gets caught and all that, and you realize he's a bad guy, you're like, okay, they betted on. They probably sent her friend to take them to that specific bar because they knew he was going to be there, but they had no knowledge that he was going to like her and she was going to like him and end up at his place.
Right. So like it happened too conveniently.
you're right about that because now I'm thinking about it. What are the odds of the friend picking that bar and the dude being there?
Yeah,
he
he
could
was
have
probably
literally
told.
picked any bar.
But
If they're in
then-
Tucson
but
or
then the-
Phoenix.
Yeah, but then that means the black guy was in on it and was given an order to take her there. But again,
I refuse to
No, you
accept that
wouldn't.
because the guy's awesome.
right.
He's a good guy.
But then how else would they have made?
I know. Right.
Again,
Again,
decide to
it's a
go there
plot
with-
hole. It ruins things.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's the black hole in the center of the movie. That's all it is. And everything on either end is really good.
You know how like the skies in the movie, whenever there's scenes like shots with the sky, amazing looking.
I agree.
There was a literal descent into darkness in the third act when it's like
Yes.
sunset and they're going, and then all of a sudden the next scene's in night vision. That was done really well.
So-
Oh yeah, that whole night vision thing was cool.
So let me ask you guys about that. The night vision thing. I have 2 questions. First of all, every time it cuts to either a night vision or a flare shot with the heat, do you think that was meant to show as a point of view of the soldiers or simply to shoot that way? I'm starting to think it was just simply shot that way.
I think
like-
it was shot that way.
Like you were supposed to accept it as just a regular camera angle, not really a POV of a soldier.
No, I don't think
Yeah,
it was a
but-
POV at all, but I think it helped drag us into her world of like, you're relying on this for visibility.
Well, it wasn't a POV because you didn't see the gun, I think, in the front
Right.
of it.
Right.
But
I agree.
It was definitely put there to excite the audience, like make them more anxious. Tunnel, you can't see anything, but these weird colors you're not used to.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that.
Disorienting.
I think this is the first time I've ever seen night vision or even flare used in an artistic way. Not because a lot of times they do it as a POV thing,
Like Predator.
like Predator or even like Zero Dark 30. They have night vision shots in there, but it's all POV. This is the first time that I've seen like it's legit camera angles. Like it's the dude, the cinematographer, just had a flare lens or something on his camera, but he shot every single one of those shots really well. Like they were just as good if they were not in regular color or CC.
Yeah, the framing was awesome. All through, all the way through.
Mhm. I'm really excited for
tunnel
him to do.
seal. Huh?
The final. Oh, so this is the thing. This guy, I feel like, does third acts really well. Where the third act makes you realize you're watching a different movie than you thought you were watching the whole time. Like Prisoner kind of has that. Enemy definitely has that, and this movie has it. Where by the end of it, when you realize who Benicio del Toro is, you realize this is like an assassin movie more than anything else. It's like a revenge movie of this guy going really
It's a
mad.
revenge movie. That's all
Right.
it is.
And it's
It's like the Keanu Reeves one.
right. And do you know there's gonna be 2 more? I'm excited.
John Wicks?
No, well, I mean, there's gonna be 1 more John Wick, but there's
If they
2
kill
more
any
of
more
this.
of his dogs, I'm not watching.
2 more Sicarios.
Yeah, there's 2 more Sicarios.
That's cool.
Um,
It picks up with the same characters.
She's not in it. Emily Blunt's not in it.
She
Right.
couldn't. I mean, she'd have to quit. She has to quit.
So Sicario is who is Sicario? Is it one of the people?
No, it means assassin.
Like, it means like.
Okay,
a-
so it's okay.
so it's gonna be Benicio del Toro. He will be back. It's
He
him.
was the best actor in the movie.
I agree, and he like his character is like when you start realizing how tragic. Well, you still don't know what happened to him. You know, his wife was killed, his daughter was killed. You don't know how or when or why, and you know now he's using the American government and any tool that he can to not only get revenge, but like actually get back in power. So I'm kind of excited to see where they take it.
Oh, is he trying to get back in power?
Yeah, because he represents the Colombian cartels. That's why, like in the 80s with the cocaine coming from Colombia, that's what they were referring to. Like Medellin was like the time when they still had some control. I think that it's really interesting to contrast his performance in this with his performance in Traffic.
I haven't seen Traffic. I know.
Tomorrow, seriously, sit down and watch it because, first of all, I have a lot to talk to you about that movie if you watch it. Like, there are so many amazing things that I would love to discuss with you.
I like the director.
Burritos.
But
Chipotle burrito.
Go ahead, Mariah.
But if you watch that movie and then compare and contrast it with this one, I think it's great. And I think the end scene with the soccer game, they have a similar scene in Traffic, and they have different outcomes.
Okay.
Like in this movie, like you think or you're told, as what's her face is told. I can't concentrate right now. You're told, just as the female detective is told, that like if you get rid of this guy, it's going to help eradicate some of the violence. And obviously, we're shown that that's not true because at the end of the movie, at the soccer match, like you hear gunfire.
Yeah.
So all of this was really for nothing, basically. And like Traffic ends with a child sports game, and it's a different outcome, which is pretty cool.
Okay, I'll watch it. Steven Soderbergh made that, and he's amazing. He made The Nick, Remy.
The Nick is so good.
The Nick is
I
really
got
good.
him to watch that. I watched the whole first season when he was in France, and then he came home, and I'm like, you need to watch this now.
The Nick is unbelievable. This guy's making Blade Runner. I am beyond.
You've done this already.
Why?
Like, Blade Runner's been done. Like, why?
It's a follow-up to Blade Runner. Everybody's
Why
on board.
are we always making sequels?
Because
We have no
the
original
universe
ideas.
is the way to make money in the future for
Yes.
the movie companies.
Yeah, because and I think it's because the last 10, 15 years, Hollywood has made movies that may have made money, but they can't continue making money because the stories are really flawed and really bad, really horrible. So they're going back to these universes that other people have made that are actually genuinely good. Like Blade Runner is an amazing world that Ridley Scott created. It's unbelievable. So I'm
Who
glad
made it?
Ridley Scott. He didn't write the book. I
Oh.
think there was a book, but he made the movies and the movie is amazing. It's one of the best sci-fi movies ever. And so he's back producing. Harrison Ford is back. And Remy, you have to watch it because it's really
Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And then we can watch the Total Recall remake.
Is that like gosh, what's that called? Fuck. The things you put on your feet with the four wheels in the line.
No.
Is that what this movie's about? Yeah, the roller skates. It's about. Is it about cool people with cool roller skates are kick ass?
No, but what's the name of that type of future? It's there's a certain art style for the type of future world that he
Like
created.
post-apocalyptic,
It's not post-apocalyptic.
dystopian.
It's
Is it about vampires?
no.
No.
It is about artificial intelligence though. And the trailer for the next Blade Runner just came out recently and it looks really good.
You see the trailer for Ghost in the Shell?
No, but have you seen the original animes for that? I haven't.
No, me neither. I know it's popular. I just haven't really. I don't even know anything about it.
I don't know if that's a movie I want to see. But tomorrow, if everything goes well, we're going to see this guy's newest movie.
Who? Sicario?
Yeah.
He made Arrival?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
You're just not catching on to why I said we should watch this.
No, dude. My brain does not want to remember actor's name, director's name. All
You
the
should.
people
I don't know
involved.
his name either. I just
Yeah.
remember the lineage
I
of
just
things he
don't
created.
care about this shit. I don't give a fuck. Sorry.
You should care because like if somebody makes a good thing, you want to see the next thing he makes, and somebody
yeah,
makes a
absolutely.
bad thing, you
but that's
definitely
the
don't
only
want to see
reason
next
why I need to remember that.
thing. Right.
I don't want to go out in the world and talk to people about these things.
Who are
I'm
you
gonna
going to
go
talk
see
to about?
Jackie tomorrow.
Jackie?
I'm gonna go see Jackie.
Oh, the
Jackie.
Jackie Kennedy one?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I remember.
What time you gonna...
I don't know, but I want to see that and Hidden Figures. So I'll go see that
if
while you
it's
guys
a-
see sci-fi movies.
Yeah, see if it's at the same time. So we can all together go to the movie theater.
And go.
We're gonna have we
Actually,
decided
unless you want to get some beers and stuff first, Nima.
that doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Yeah, but
What time are we
it's,
thinking?
it's
Do
the
we know?
New Year's. We're gonna start eating healthier than stuff that we've been going to.
You can eat whatever you want as long as you eat it like what is it called? Periodically, like modesty, not all the time.
Oh, in moderation.
In
Everything
moderation.
in moderation, including moderation.
Yes. Have you guys seen this YouTube channel that I think they're from Netherlands? It's an educational channel where they try every single drug that they can and they try to tell you
awesome.
about it. It's amazing.
It's terribly awesome.
My dad just texted me because I texted him after Sicario, and I told him, I'm like, go see this movie, watch the whole thing, don't get up in the middle of it, pay attention. And he just texted me that he just picked it up from Redbox.
He did?
The movie is really good. And you know what's funny is when you say perfect movies, there are a few movies that come really close to being perfect, and there are some that are perfect. Like I feel like Martian, with all of his flaws, is a perfect movie for
it was really good, and I feel like you can watch. That's a movie that you can watch like with your family.
Mm-hmm.
It's not obscene. It's not dirty,
that's a
and
good
it's still
family
super
movie.
entertaining. I liked it. I liked it way better than Interstellar, and I liked it better than Gravity. And I really, I can't usually relate to Matt Damon because I feel like he's like a really wooden actor. I don't think he's great in everything. I think there's like a certain kind of role that he's good in. I liked him in The Martian.
I agree. His smart-ass character was really good, and that's a movie we'll talk about. But I feel like we touched base on everything.
What do you feel that? Well, how did that dinner scene make you feel?
Where he killed his family.
I knew he was going to kill his family, so that wasn't really a shocker to me at all.
Yeah, but it was done well.
It was done really well, but the way he killed... I don't remember the main drug lord's name, but the way he killed him was amazing. Because he tells them to finish your dinner first.
Meal, yeah.
Which, when you think about it, psychologically, that's such a mind fuck.
I know.
That you know you're gonna die.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's not just that you're gonna die, it's that you do this to other people every day,
Mm-hmm.
and you sit here and eat your meal. So that's why he says this shouldn't be any different.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that Emily Blunt was gonna get sniped at the end on her balcony.
Right, and he says,
And I
"Don't stand
totally
in the
would have thought it
balcony."
was poetic. I wouldn't have discounted the movie at all for having done it, because I thought, like, he told her twice, like, don't point your gun at me again.
is
And
it
she
me or
fucking went
I
and
feel
did
like
it.
she might have been a better, Rogue One girl chick
God, yes.
girl.
So many people would have been better in Rogue One than the people that were actually in Rogue One.
Damn,
Sorry.
dude. Cold.
But no, here's the thing: the sniping of Emily Blunt's character, I feel like would have tipped the movie in going too far. Because I feel like one of the reasons this movie is great, because everything about it probably does happen every day. Like if you turn on, I don't know, Channel 12 news here, you probably will hear something like this every day. I feel like a cop doesn't get sniped every day here.
No, but she's going up against the machine, and the machine obviously has no problem taking out anybody to get its objective. So,
Bless you.
thank you. Sorry, it's 3.
When they were having the DOJ meeting, first couple times I saw it, I was like, oh, that's at the office that's kind of close to you guys' house. But then I realized that's not the DOJ. So
It's the FBI headquarters.
yeah.
But I don't want to say too much more about like where we are.
They live right next door. So whoever's being creepy, go check out right next door.
Whoever's creeping on this video right now, yeah.
With
So-
some people watching. Oh wait, that's us.
It's just you and I. You still what?
I still try to be careful.
No, you should be because it's out there.
I don't want people to know where I live.
You do or you don't?
watching. I don't.
No, you shouldn't. You should never.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not
It's,
even that we live in, anywhere.
I mean-
to
We do a
another
really
country.
good job at making Nebraska look like Arizona, though. So
wait, what?
kidding. I'm like,
Exactly.
yeah, we live in yeah.
Oh. It's just like, whew.
I know.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Story of my life.
Fun. Do we get all of our notes and thoughts and everything out of the way for
You wanna
Sicario?
do, we're doing Arrival next.
We're doing it tomorrow. Are we
Nice.
doing it tomorrow?
No, we're gonna watch it tomorrow.
When are we doing it?
Maybe the same night or Tuesday.
Okay. All right. I can prep for it. I have all the pictures ready for.
It's
Arrival.
Cool. I can actually.
If you do it tomorrow, it'll be fresh.
I can even if I'm at the studio one day and you want to do one and you're at home, we can totally do it from the studio.
Yeah, why not? Because the setup is the same exact way. Just
I
Skype.
mean, yeah, I just have to bring my microphone. Well, the Wi-Fi is really bad over there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
It'll be worth it to try it.
Yeah, you can always try everything, anything.
Cool.
Yay!
I'm really, really hot in this sweater. Did you guys have a good New Year's?
We did.
Yeah, it was fun.
I'm sad that you didn't come over.
Someone brought homemade mac and cheese, dude.
What was in it?
It is amazing. I'm gonna
Macaroni
have
noodles
some
and
tonight.
cheese.
That's
Mac and
it.
cheese,
No
mac and
bacon,
cheese.
no breadcrumbs, nothing.
Good old plain mac and cheese, how it should be.
It was homemade though. It wasn't like from a box. It was really good.
Is mac and cheese? Do you think mac and cheese is? Where do you think it came from? America? If America, where in
No.
America? If not America, where else?
Like you mean mac and cheese is because it's just
Like
pasta.
Kraft?
We just call it mac and cheese.
Who came up with the idea of putting cheese in macaroni?
someone in the 80s who didn't have time to cook a fancy meal and was like, "Here, kids, this is what you get. Mama's got to go hustle."
I'll
Like,
totally take that answer. That's good.
Mama's gotta go hustle.
necessity is the mother of all invention. So I'm just
pretty sure
imagining
it's-
like a harried parent.
I'm
that
pretty
made
sure it
that.
came from someone who loves, pasta and loves cheese, and we're like,
Really?
I'm gonna put those two together. Oh, hi, dog.
Aww.
Oh, look at this. Look at
I miss your dogs.
Come over.
Dude, they were so good yesterday. We had like 8-9 people over, and they did fine.
But our dogs will still totally bite anybody who comes here without our.
What?
Like,
Yeah,
they'll still-
I don't believe that. If I come over, they'll be just fine. They'll open the door for me.
Zora would be like, oh, I know him. I know him. I know him.
All right, guys. I'm gonna. There should be a way to end our stream via the YouTube dashboard, and I don't know how.
What do you mean via the?
Like, you should be able to click a button in the actual YouTube thing to end it, and I
Stop.
don't know how.
Not you, my her.
Are you going for a nipple? Do you know where a nipple is? Like, you going like? Do I need to tell you guys about human anatomy?
the birds and the bees.
I'm trying to look for it.
You can. Never mind.
No, whatever it is, no. How do you think it would be? I can just obviously end it via OBS, but
Well, you can go from you can probably switch the privacy to unlisted.
no, but you should be able to end it. That's what the frequently asked question says. It says you have full control via the dashboard. Don't know how to do it. But you know what? I will end
You
it.
don't explain it?
No. I will end it, but you and I